Today we are going to be testing the Aiyima A07 Pro amplifier. So first let's start with a quick unboxing. This is of course the Aiyima box. And let's see what it has inside. So, a little Aiyima sticker. The AC power supply, and this will be a 36 volts and 6 amps. And antenna for the Bluetooth part. And of course, the amplifier itself, which comes in this bag. And here is the A07 Pro. It's a very nice unit, very compact, but it's a very solid build. And it has the RF for the antenna, and then it has the analog inputs for if you're gonna do like an analog from the computer, for example, from the sound card. And there's also a line out, which you could use for a subwoofer, I suppose. And then the speaker one, so you got the speaker ports. So this one you can use it for a subwoofer, and just like a regular 1/8 jack to the or 3.5 millimeter jack, which is 1/8 of an inch, and then that goes to the 2 RCAs, and that can go into the back of the subwoofers. It's the power subwoofer, of course. This one worked with a non-power subwoofer. Now the only thing that you will see that is missing is it doesn't have any optical inputs. So if you're trying to connect from the TV, for example, usually you will need an optical, and it doesn't have that. So this wouldn't be a good choice if you're trying to power speakers for connecting to a TV to get you better sound. But for a computer with an analog output, it'll be fine. From your phone, if you have an adapter and just go from your phone to analogs, perfectly fine. So that's the kind of thing that you're gonna be connecting here. It's just this type of input, just the analog one. And then the output here for your subwoofer, for example, will be what I will be using it with, or I used it already. And then in front, you just have the on-off switch, of course. And then this one is a nice one because it's a Bluetooth and the RCA, so you can select between the two. And this is useful because I had a different unit. I'm trying to remember which one was it, which will connect it automatically to the Bluetooth every time, and it will turn it on, which was annoying because there was no way to defeat that. I will have to like disconnect from my phone all the time every time I power it on. So I like being able to just select the input and not have the Bluetooth that just connects automatically. So, and then besides that, you have a bass control, which is always nice, and treble control. So right there, analog controllers, very simple, and of course the master volume control. So I have been testing this unit for a while, and let me give you a little brief story of why I'm doing this. If you recall, my last video was regarding the Kali Audio IN-UNF. It was like a desktop monitoring system for like mixing and all that. Speakers, round speakers with a main unit which is pretty tall, pretty big. And that was an upgrade that I was doing from my Sound Blaster soundbar, another soundbar that I've tested before that one. And I liked it. I liked it quite a bit. The problem is that during the whole video, for some reason, I had it in my mind that the price of that unit was about $300, $299. I don't know why that got stuck in my head that it was $299. So all the time I'm talking about how good it is and the benefits and whatnot, and I'm gonna get it. I'm thinking it's $299. Well, it turns out that it's not $299. It's like double that. At least the last time I checked, it's $600. So I was like, wait a second, for $600, let me see what else I can get. And turns out that it was a really good call because, honestly, unless you like that one for a specific reason, I would pass on it, because what I've been testing lately, it's way better, and in most situations for less money. So, for example, I'm going to be testing the Numi SV5, the Mica RB42, and the Kanto YU4 passive with their 8-inch subwoofer. And I'm also shortly getting a Fluence, escaping my mind right now, the AI61, And I was gonna get the subwoofer, but they are coming out with a brand new subwoofer next year, so I'm gonna wait for that one instead. So I'm gonna be testing all those speakers for your desktop, because I'm still looking for the great desktop setup, and those are all the contenders that I've been working on. I think they are like among the best options right now for the performance and different budget levels. And of course, for speakers like that, well, except for the Fluence, because I'm getting the powered one. On the other side, I went with the passive ones. I wanted to get an amplifier. So this is one of the ones that I've been testing. I also have an SMLS A300 and a Duke Audio, which I'm forgetting the model number, but you'll see when I review it. So I'm going to be testing all three as well, and hopefully more in the future. But if you want to see all those reviews and my comparisons of them afterwards, remember to sign up to my channel. Just subscribe, hit that bell icon, whatever it is somewhere, so that you don't miss the videos, because it's small channels. I don't think YouTube is going to push in this channel much until I grow an audience. So if I grow an audience faster, then you get notified. So make sure to share this video. So anyways, back to the video. So this unit, I've been testing it quite a bit with SMLS. Well, the SMLS, I've already tried it, and the Duke Audio was the last one to arrive. But so far I have no complaints from this unit. It's a great sounding one. On the brief test I did, and please wait for the actual comparison just in case, but at a quick change that I did between the two, I felt that this one has a more open sound. Like just the imaging on the soundstage was a bit more clear, more defined. So it's probably the chipset. I know the chipset on this unit is very popular, and a lot of people love it. So, and I'm forgetting the name of the chipset. I should have checked on that before I started the video. I don't think it's gonna be in the box, but I'll put it on the description because you'll see it. But it seems to be like and I can argue about it. What I heard was really good. He was able to drive all the speakers that I tested, the Nomi, the RB42, and the Kanto YU4 brilliantly. I had zero complaints. I mean, what I was listening to, it was so good that, unlike on my previous experience where I was expecting that drop in quality from my normal system to that one, to the differences now are much smaller. Of course, this is not going to play as loud. If you push it as hard, it's going to start, getting into problems with the speakers. May not be able to play as loud. You're comparing like a 7-channel 200-watt amplifier that I have on my main system to a small amplifier with small speakers, right? So keeping that in consideration, the quality itself within the constraints of how loud I'm playing in my smaller room for the office, I have zero complaints. It sounds very clear, the detail is there, and just can enjoy the music very nicely. Much better than any soundbar, for example, definitely. So I have really, I have no complaints about it except for the optical input. If we had an optical input, this would be recommended for everything, really. I could see myself just taking this to my TV. My wife doesn't want to have anything on the TV when it comes to speakers. So if we want to watch a movie upstairs and not go to our theater downstairs, if it's like a comedy or a TV show or something, and I want to get better sound on the soundbar that we have on the TV, I will definitely bring this and some of my speakers that I have, the small speakers like the Kantos or the Fluence that come. Well, the Fluence has its own amp, or the RB42 or the Numi, and I'll be more than happy to use that. But the problem is not having the optical input is not gonna help me with that one. So of the three that I'm testing, the only one that has optical input is the Duke Audio. But I'm sure Aiyima has some with optical inputs, it's just this particular one doesn't. So it's one thing that I will hope they will have. A less interface, because it's like, you have the tiny screen that you can even change the colors, and it makes for a nice visual input. Right away you can see the feedback of what you're doing. But this one is very simple. I mean, treble, bass, max volume, and then switch between Bluetooth and the input. Couldn't be easier, right? So, I mean, like, it's a great build unit. It feels good. I think the power supply that they're including at 36 volts and 6 amps, it gives enough power so it can drive the speaker very nicely. In fact, I was able to drive my the JBL 590 speakers with it just as a test, and it was sounded really good. Was it as good as my 7-channel 200 watt per channel amplifier? No, but you get to that point when you start playing louder is when you see that things just don't keep opening up as much as I does with my big amplifier. But we're talking about an amplifier that's 93 pounds and $1,800, right? To this. So the fact that it can drive the speakers to a decent volume and sound good, that speaks a lot about how much technology is advancing these days. And you know, and when you're considering what I'm going to be using this for, which is on my desktop, on my computer, with the small speakers, which I think the biggest ones probably have like 5-inch drivers, and it just fits nicely. I can just put it right there next to my monitor. It doesn't take much space at all. As you can see, it's like, and yeah, it's a lot smaller than the the Kali Audio that I was testing, which was a massive wall. And the sound quality that I'm getting, in my opinion, is just superior what I get from either of the speakers pretty much that I'm using. Of course, the Kali Audio had a built-in subwoofer unit, which is like the big monster in the middle. But with the Kanto, I got the 8-inch subwoofer. Just that alone easily beats what I was getting from the Kali Audio, in my opinion. So, and then of course there's many options. Fluence has their own, and you can get your very own, like a Polk or a Mono Price has a pretty cheap 8-inch subwoofer. So there's plenty of options if you're gonna get a small subwoofer. But when we get to the speakers part of the reviews, we'll talk about which ones can get away without a subwoofer, which one we can, or it all depends on your preferences, right? Some people can be fine with all of them without subwoofers. Others will need subwoofers, like me, for any of them. But yeah, this is the thing that I'm talking about, is just finding the best value for a desktop setup to jump from the sound into sound quality. Like if I switch to the soundbar, which I did during the test, it just sounds so awful right now. And then try to jump back to this, and it's like, oh, okay, this is more like what I'm used to on my main system. So yeah, if you're buying a system for it like this, or you just want a 2-channel audio for your computer, forget the sound bars and just get something like this. You know, get a Nomi SB5, a Mica RB42, or a Fluence, or the Kanto speakers, which are beautiful sounding speakers, and you will get to a level of sound that is far superior. Add a small subwoofer, of course, if you're into gaming or like heavy bass on your music, because the speakers I've been testing are limited size, so you can expect a huge full range sound, right? So keep that in mind. But overall, when it comes to this amplifier, power is there. You can make it very loud, and you don't feel like the sound is compressing right away, and it plays loud enough where in my room I just feel like, okay, this is more than enough. I can't tone it down because this is too loud, while keeping very composed. I didn't feel any strains in the highs, lows, or mids or anything. Everything was pretty sound clear. The sound stage seems to keep, and the imaging keeps its through the entire loudness levels that I was increasing. I felt that the sound stage and the imaging, they all kept the composure, right? They stayed there. They stayed clear. I still was able to tell where the instruments were, and the width of the soundstage was still there. So nothing started to collapse as I was playing louder, as you expect from weaker amplifiers. Maybe having this bigger power supply is helping. So it's a good choice that they're doing that. Yeah. There's also the A07, which doesn't have the Bluetooth. I believe that's the main difference, which I might be testing as well in the future. But for now, I don't think you can do any better than this amplifier right now. Now I had to still test the Duke and the SMLS more, but from the brief testing that I've done, I don't feel that any of them is giving me the same quality that I was getting from this one. So hold on until the final comparison is done. I'm going to review the other two shortly. But if you want to buy it right now and you want to tell you which one of the three I will pick right away, my money will be on this one right now. So Aiyima, they hit it out of the ballpark with this thing. So keep an eye for my next videos when I'm going to review the other amplifiers and all the speakers that I mentioned, and it's a lot more coming up because I'm going to be working a lot into the whole audio, and I'm going to be doing a tour of my home theater. If you want to see all the parts that I have a Hopper AC platform with 4 subwoofers under my sofa, a couple of PSA subwoofers, and a lot of stuff. So anyways, if you have any questions, please let me know. Just make sure to share it. Hopefully this helicopter that's going over the house is not going to be into the audio, but we'll see. So once again, thank you so much for watching. Please like, subscribe, comment. Let me know if you need anything or any questions or any requests for other tests that I'm going to be doing. Thank you for watching.